Welcome to Educators with Oil podcast, where we discuss education with God, teaching with love, and inspiring with faith. Take your oil with you. Let God guide your steps in the classroom. Co-hosts Ronette Branham and Shanae Moore. Welcome to Educators with Oil podcast. Welcome to Educators with Oil podcast. My name is Shanae Moore. I am here today with my co-host, Ronette Branham. How are you today?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm good. Are you excited about this topic?
Oh, I'm very excited. You know, this is something I've been working on. I'm really excited. How about you?
Yes, I am. This is episode 3 of our podcast. And if you see the title, you know that we are talking about vision boards today. All right, let's get into this topic. So vision boards, why is it important? Why do you need to have vision boards for your classroom, for your students, for you personally? You need to have a goal. We need to have a goal. We can start this at the beginning of the school year. And we can have this goal for the whole school year. It will help us to keep that focus on something to achieve all school year. Okay. So we'll start with the importance that a vision board is very important for setting that goal of achievement for the whole school year. So Ronette, you want to read the scripture?
Okay. Our scripture is coming from Habakkuk 2, verse 2 and through verse 4. Habakkuk 2, 2 and 3. Leave it like that. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Oh, before you get started, that just lit me up. I remember the first time you read it, that just lit me up. Because it says, write and make it plain that you may run. Whoever reads it is going to run with it. That means you're going to take up that, you're going to take it up, you're going to try to bring it to pass. Like you say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is our goal by the end of the year. So that's in your head. So I got that. And then it says, though it tarry, that means it might not happen. The vision might not be fulfilled right then. September, you have your vision board. This is what my class is going to look like. And this is how I'm kind of teacher I'm going to be. And this is what my class is going to be. And then come October 1st, students didn't get it, or you didn't get it. Don't worry about it, because it's going to happen. Because for one thing, you're running with it, running with that vision. You're trying to make it work. You're putting it, you're going to bring it to fruition no matter what. Baby steps, big steps, you're going to do it. So I'm excited. I'm excited to hear what you're going to say about that. What you're going to tell our listeners. And
I think it's not in my notes, but what you just said, based on what you just said, for educators thinking that like, oh, it might not happen. And I think of that part to remember that sometimes we think less of ourselves and we think so small, like our goal might be so small, but God has something bigger and planned for us. So that sometimes it might not come to pass what you are thinking, and you might get frustrated along the way because it's not happening that way. But just remember, like, God has a better plan. Always his plan is better than our plan. So I just wanted to add that, like, not that God is not listening to you when it might not happen, but he might have a different way. I just wanted to add that in there.
You know what? That's on my vision board. Yeah. That's on mine where it says, I'm going to say it really quickly because I don't want to say it wrong. The only thing, really, the greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that our aim is too low and we reach it. So yeah, we're not aiming high enough, or we think, okay, I can't do that. Let me just start, let me just do this. But okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
see, I want to edge of my seat.
That could apply for your students, like working in urban school districts when students are very, very low, and having that focus and that goal on your vision board that all of my students are going to be higher learners or meet their reading goals and levels like that. Sometimes we might do like 80% in our goal, 30% in our goal, which is low. Like, let's set that goal and on our vision, like everybody in the classroom is going to achieve their reading goal. So setting it high, like, or maybe sometimes it's like educators might think like it's been 2 months and this student, that student haven't made any progress at all. It might come towards the end of the year. I've seen students towards the end of the year, they just skip 5 levels. Like, you just got to have that faith in them.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I seen it, especially last year with the pandemic and the kids coming back from the pandemic. And you think, oh Lord, this child is reading at this certain level. And then all of a sudden, here comes the last reading assessment. And then they're reading, you have to keep retesting them and testing them and testing them. And I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna skip 3 and then we go up here and see. And then they're there. You're like, all right, you worked for that. You worked for that. We might not have seen it. We might thought, okay, my dream for this is really low. My goal is low. I set the bar low. But how about you, right? Set the bar high. Okay, my students, 100% of my students are going to move up, progress, a certain amount of steps. Yes, I got that.
So I don't know if that was a little off topic because that wasn't our notes, but it's very important. They need to know that. All right, so why do we do the vision board? So when you do something big in your life, doing something big in the classroom, and you have to have a plan for it. And the same should be in our classroom every single day when we are teaching. We need to make sure we have a plan so that we can make sure we have the resources. So if our goal is so that students are improving their reading scores and math scores, what resources do we have in the classroom, or what additional resources do we need to get in the classroom? For example, if your goal is for the, the 3rd grade class to improve their math scores, do we need to start a 3rd grade math club? Like, you already have this plan in the beginning of the year on your vision board. So now you're constantly thinking of different resources to go along with that in your classroom, so that you have all the tools, do you have all the manipulatives, do you have everything you need to carry out that plan? So that's why it's definitely important.
Oh, yeah. And that I keep hearing that scripture. They that hear it, read it, are going to run with it. And how can you run with it except you prepare and you have all the tools that you need to take this to the next level?
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
I don't know what the scripture was. Do you know what the scripture was?
Habakkuk 2.
The other one. Is it the? Oh gosh. It's the other scripture where it's like, if you're building a tower.
Oh, yeah. Give me a second. Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, because I don't know all the scriptures, but I know it's there. If you're building the tower, are you going to do this without having a plan? No, you're going to need to know what blocks to use, what materials, and how high. You need to do measurements. You need to do all of those things. You don't just go, hey, I'm about to build a building today, and just go build a building. No, it's the same thing in our classroom. We need to have a whole entire plan, and it starts with our vision board, because after that, when I do a vision board for my students, and what you can do as well, educators, when you're doing a vision board for your students in the classroom in the beginning of the school year, explain to them what is a vision board and what we're going to do with the vision board, and tell them the significance of all the little pieces that they put on their vision board. But after that, use it as a tool to guide every single day. So like, okay, guys, remember that we said that this is our goal and we're going to be working on this all school year, just pointing it out during SEL in the beginning of school time, when the students are coming to the classroom, just point out the vision board really quickly, briefly, and like, remember, our goal is this, and that. So what do we have to work on to reach our math goal today? What step do we need to take today? Because you don't want them to feel like they got to take all these big leaps every single day they come into the classroom. What little step can we reach to get to that goal that's on our vision board?
Right. And I have that scripture to go with that, exactly what you just said, for our listeners, and showing you how everybody has to prepare. You're preparing the students, you're preparing yourself, the classroom, whoever you're preparing for this board. It says Luke 14:28, for which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the costs, whether he has enough to complete it. Yeah. You got it. Mm-hmm. Yes. And that you have to count the costs, and you have to look in your inventory, see what I have. Right. You could, and the students, the same thing. Whatever they think, if they have their own vision board or one for the entire classroom, they have to know, well, what do I need? Just like you just said, what do I need to reach this goal? And then I do have to have, like we have those SMART goals. Same thing for, it's like a miniature vision board. I take the SMART goals on their desk. They color it, draw it, write what their goal is. Yeah. And it's on their desk. And the students themselves are coming to me saying, I reached my goal. I reached my goal. Now I need to set a new goal. They have it in their mind already. They're planning already the next goal. So that vision board is that's something we all can use.
Because it also has a specific time on those SMART goals too. So by
we put a date.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be all the way to the end of the school year. Just a small little, by the end of the month, I'm going to do this. I'm going to read this many books. I'm going to practice my writing, my handwriting every single day, whatever it is. I would suggest to do a whole class vision board. That's where we get the whole class involved in saying, what do we want to achieve this school year? Just writing it and discussing as a whole class, writing it out first on the whiteboard, or hopefully nobody has a blackboard anymore.
I have a new, did you see mine? I have a little one over there by that closet. No. I like that.
I forgot about that one. Chalk. I hate chalk. I think I only had one classroom where I had the blackboard with chalk. No, that is not it. Okay, we're going to focus on whiteboard. On the whiteboard. On the whiteboard, just have the students just call out different goals and different things they want to achieve that school year, and just all write it out, and then organize it into, what does that look like as a picture? If we were to put this in picture format, what would that look like? And then have the students go research it, go find different pictures to print out in the classroom. We can also get the artistic students in there who know how to draw. So this is all done at the beginning of the school year. So this little task helps you learn so much about students. Like, it's really like quiet, shy students that know how to draw, and they know how to just are very artsy. And you find out at the beginning of the school year how they imagine things and how they think, and just a small little task that just shows you so much about your students and gets to know them.
Right, and how they think, not just how their talents, but how they think, how they process. Because some students can process, they could give you the idea and say, this is how it should look, but they are not the ones who can draw it. They are not the ones who could put it on paper in any form, or come up with the pictures or the words that will go to it. But they could say, this is what I think our class can look like. And you find all that thinking, or they might be the person that's a scribe. They can write so neat, and they can take notes, impeccable notes, but they're not, creative. They might not be that creative. So yeah, you can see all of that early in the school year.
You wanted to add anything?
Yes, I do have an example, and it doesn't have pictures yet, because when I put mine together, I want to have like a picture of the classroom, different things. So mine is a personal, it's not a classroom. It's not for the class, it's for me, myself, what I want my class to look like and how I want to appear in my eyes to my class. I want to be a facilitator of learning, not just the teacher and standing up in the front of the class teaching and then they're taking notes. And I want to see group learning. I want to see all that in my classroom. And I have two small panels. There are four. I don't know how I'm going to show it to you. So I have this one panel, and that's going to be sitting near my desk somewhere. And this is inspirational quotes. My favorite, it says, the best thing about being a teacher is that it matters. The hardest thing is about being a teacher is that it matters every day. And then I have in the front, don't forget to smile, right big, because I make jokes a lot. I don't smile that often. Like when I'm talking, I smile like if something's funny, but I'm making a joke and I'm not, the kids are laughing, but I just keep it moving. So I have to remember, have that friendly face. So that's something that, so these are inspirational quotes, and these are for me to remind me. And I gave you that one quote about reaching the danger of not aiming too high. And this is the one what I want some of my classrooms to look like. So I have 4 panels that they're going to go together, and then I'm going to add pictures. This is just a little sample of what somebody could do. Yeah. I didn't want to overcrowd it, because then, you're not going to keep looking at it. So it says, change the way you think. I wanted to see building trust in the classroom. And you got this. That's, sometimes you think there's something new coming and you have to teach it something a different way. So these things I want to facilitate. I want to stay focused. I want to see my students joining in on the work. And I want to see classroom management. And somebody can walk in and they can see classroom management. So that's just something I want to motivate lifelong learners. I want to see that. in my classroom. So that's something that will be personally for me near my desk. And it's not a group thing. So again, like Shanae said, you can have a group classroom vision board. And that's my personal vision board.
Yeah. And the students can have individual ones too. So
right.
Yeah, like what they want to. So basically, educators, you can do it the way you want to do it. just do it. Basically.
Right.
Like, just do it. Whether you do a class vision board, whether you have the students do a personal one, just do it so that you have something to constantly motivate you. Because when you see those words, when I saw stay focused on your board, constantly seeing those things will help you to keep on track of what is the goal and keep you motivated.
Right. The sneaker company says, just do it. I say, you can do it. Yeah. Right. You can do it. And again, I'm excited to see someone come back to us and show us their vision board. Post it. Once you start in September, come back to our page. After you like, share, and subscribe, come back and show us your vision board. I would love to see. It doesn't have to be your personal vision board that you post, because that's personal, but you can show us your classroom vision board, what you want your classroom to look like with the students. Even like we have in our school, those SMART goals that the students put on their desk, and they have a date, an actual date. Sometimes we have 2 weeks, sometimes we have a month. It depends on what they want to achieve. Yeah. And come back with something like that to show, wow, this works. And then it keeps us going. It keeps you going, motivating yourself and motivating your students. And they will come to you and say, Miss So-and-so, Miss Moore, Miss Branham, yeah, we did it. We reached the goal. What is our next goal? And they do say that. Yes, definitely share with us. Well, actually, I will put in the comments. We could do that. We could put our email, educatorswithoil@gmail. You can email it to us, your vision board, whatever you want to email to us. Email your vision board, email the students' vision board, email success of how this podcast is helping you. Feel free to share all of that information in our email. You can also comment below in our YouTube channel to let us know, how is this working for you? Have you done this before? There's probably educators that are already doing vision boards. So how does it really help you in the classroom? You can share that with us. Yes. And thank you with that. Thank you very much for tuning in. Yes. And we're excited to see you next time. Have a good day.